Hi, Team Impact. We're moving on here to Unit 3, the number system. I'm going to get into this today with you. And if you open the page to the first lesson, Unit 3, Lesson 1, we're going to attack and chat about integers today. Integers. Okay. So, pretty easy lesson to start with, just as normal. We will get progressively harder towards the end here. Maybe this will help if I turn that light on. All right, the set of whole numbers and their opposites are called integers. So an example of an integer is what? A whole number. 5, 6, 7, those are whole numbers. And their opposites, -5, -6, -7. Those are all integers, right? And guess what? 0 is one as well. Yep. Integers can be plotted on a number line where the positive values are located to the right of 0 and the negative values are located to the left. And I'm sure you chatted about this in 5th grade here a little bit. Okay. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to make a simple number line, all right, on this. And this doesn't always work. I see my biggest number is 9 and my smallest number is -8. So I'm going to kind of fit this right in the middle and say, hey, right here's 0. And I'm going to count my intervals by 2 because I can do anything I want. I can use these lines as anything I want, right? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, -2, -4, -6, -8, -10. Now the interval is still 1, but I just counted by 2s. And now let's plot it. Here's -8, and that's A. B is 5. Between 4 and 6 is 5. C is -2. Sorry, not 5 there. How about a B? D is 0. And E is niner, right? All right, excellent. Which point in the set above has the largest value? And I've already went over this. You know, E is the furthest to the right. What is the smallest value? Right? A, or -8, is the smallest to the left. Okay? So the further to the left, the smaller. The further to the right, the bigger. And that shows us through the number line. All right. Georgie is asking to plot the number -3 on the number line below. Where should Georgie plot the point? Okay, so what we need to do is figure out what these intervals are. So if I just count, well, here's -5. 1, 2, 3, 4, -5. So the interval is 1, but they only put 5s down. So let's count it back here to -3, and there's -3, and let's plot it. Okay. The following transactions are shown on a bank statement. So you get a statement from the bank every month, and that statement tells you how much you spent, how much you saved, what you made from your employer, what you paid on your mortgage, and so on and so on. List the transactions from least to greatest. Anytime I have least to greatest, I underline it or I highlight it because a lot of times they'll trick us and go greatest to least. Okay, so if you need a number line, use it, but I don't think we need to. Least to greatest would be -11, -5, oops, 3, 8, and 12. So pretty easy stuff there. All right. So we're in pretty good shape so far. Again, stuff that you probably know. Write the symbol and an example for each of the following: greater than, less than, or equal to. So when we use a greater than sign, we need that sign. We use a less than sign, we need that sign. And then equal to is certainly that. So 5 is greater than 3. 70 is less than 90, right? And 2 is equal to 2.0. Right? So those are just, there's an infinite amount of examples that you can put down, okay? All right, let's flip it over and continue on. All right, good stuff for a Monday, right? Use the symbols, less than or greater than or equal to make the statements true. No problems here, okay? -19 is less than that. 8 is greater than negative 8. And try to get out of the concept of the alligators eating the bigger number. Understand the sign, right? Less than or greater than. 0 is actually greater than negative 7. Negative 13 is actually less than negative 12. The bigger the negative, the smaller it is. Yep. Number 4. 3 students compared integers. Determine which student completed the task correctly. Well, negative 6 is not greater, so that's not it. 3 is great. It's Nico. 3 is greater than negative 4. 0 is not less than negative 1. Beatrice places 4 different points on a number line. What value best represents point B? Uh-oh. So we need to figure this out here a little bit. So here's negative 4, negative 8, and here's 4, negative 8. So we need to figure this out. So if this is 1, no, it can't be a 1 interval. But let's check 2. Negative 2, negative 4, negative 6, negative 8. So just by trial and error, I found out that that's actually negative 2, and that's 2. That's 6, and that's negative 6. And I could continue. This is 10, and that's actually negative 10 if I wanted to fill them in. Now, when we look at this, they want to know what plot B is. Well, B is between negative 6 and negative 4. So ideally, that is negative 5. Okay? So this can get difficult, especially when they use an interval of 3 or 5 or 7. You just have to sit down and go with trial and error a lot of times and figure that out. That's usually the best method, right? Number 6. Nico, the table below represents the number of yards gained in 6 different plays. List the values in order from greatest to least. So they use kind of a function table here, right? And a function table is, this would be X and this would be Y, and that's going to come later, but 1, all right, and really when we look at this, there's no corresponding correlation to a rule. So so let's go with greatest to least and let's list them. So the biggest number here is 14, 6, 2. Next biggest is negative 5. Next one would be negative 8, and then negative 9. Yeah. And this would be, a function table that's not linear. If we wanted to go back to that, we'll chat about that later. Okay. We're doing well. We're about 8 minutes into this deal. Let's continue our path here. All right. Brainstorm real world terms and phrases that indicate positive and negative numbers. All right. So there's not an infinite amount, but there's a lot for negative, sure. How about below? Below 0 would be a negative, wouldn't it? Another term would be deduct. If I deduct 7 from 10, I subtract it, negative. How about under? Under's a good one, right? Loss. Can you think of any more? I have one. How about descend? Descend. I'm going to descend 12 feet off the cliff, negative 12, right? Equal. The same. Yeah. They might match, right? Let's move to positive. If you're a football player, you gained 10 yards. If I rise up would be a positive. The temperature rose 10 degrees, right? Credit, if we're talking a bank account, credit is good. That is a positive thing. They credited my account $12. Sure. How about above 0? Above 0 would be a positive, right? Any more you could get? I know another one that's a good one for a bank. How about deposit? Every 2 weeks, my employer deposits money into my bank account. Deposit, a positive, right? So that's excellent. Okay. Last piece, and you could probably pause it and go ahead and do those and check if you wanted. I'm going to buzz through these. A football player caught a pass for 57 yards. That's 57. Now, we don't say plus 57, we just say 57. If there's nothing in front of the number, it's given that it's positive, right? The temperature dropped 15 degrees overnight. Dropped, negative. The account is credited $14. Again, when I get a credit, they're putting money back into my bank account, which is what I like, yes. A submarine travels 550 feet below sea level, negative 550. So carbon has 6 protons. So we're just going to talk a little bit of chemistry. But if it just has 6 protons, it's just 6 plus 6, right? Vegas has an average temperature of 101 degrees above zero. Above 101. That's hot. A bank account is overdrawn. Overdrawn. This is not good. Overdrawn means that, and that's a negative, that means that you've spent more money that's in your bank account. And that's a no-no. You will get fined for that, penalized. A quarterback is sacked for a loss of 5 yards. A loss is negative, right? So that takes us through today's deal, okay? If you flip the page, you will see the homework. Homework 1. Integers on the number line. I'd like for you to complete that. Shouldn't be too bad. Okay, if you have problems, refer back to the video. Anyway, take care, guys. Have a good day. I'll see you.